Welcome to All Things MMA. I am alongside UFC veteran and main eventer in 2 weeks' time, Dan Ige. I'm not here with my right-hand man, Ken McGuire, but I have got a great vet here on the show. So welcome, Dan. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Thank you so much for having me. Long time no see, long time talk. And yeah, here we are a couple weeks away, pumped and ready to go.
Yes, man. I remember meeting you in AK. Must have been about 2 years ago now.
At least 2 years, yeah. Last like right
Hmm.
before the pandemic,
Yeah,
probably.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, a lot of buzz going on in the gym then, a lot of fights going on at the time too. So it's exciting times,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for
Mm.
absolutely. It was good. It was good fun, good training and just keeping it going.
Yeah, for sure, my bro. I suppose it'd be nice to get into a little bit of where you started out, Dan. You have like a really interesting journey coming up to where you are now. You're really coming into your own and hitting your peak in your mixed martial arts career now, and especially the last couple of performances that you've had, they've been, riveting performances, really exciting, fan favorite fights. Do you
Thank
want to tell us a little bit about where you came from, where you started MMA, and how you got to where you are now?
you. Yeah, honestly, I mean it's been a crazy journey when I look back on it, and I'll never forget day one when it started and where it came from. Just kind of growing up in Hawaii, it's just kind of the culture we live. Growing up surfing and fighting and skating, and it's just kind of what we do. And I'm actually here with my brother-in-law Skyler. So my brother
Hey,
Skyler,
Skylar, how are you?
that's my brother-in-law, my wife's brother. They were actually fighting before me, and I was dating my girlfriend, wife now, my girlfriend at the time, Savannah, and they were fighters, so they kind of got me into it. Like I was wrestling at the time, doing jujitsu, um, pretty much just training every day in like my friend's backyard. We're literally just go and train jujitsu every day after school, and no gi stuff. We were just doing repetitions like arm bars, triangles, arm bars, triangles, arm bars, triangles, repetition after repetition. I got pretty good because, with it's like the Bruce Lee quote, like practice 10,000 kicks or 1,001 kick 10,000 times. Is pretty much what we did. We just picked one move and we would drill it, and we got pretty good. And so I felt confident in my grappling and whatnot, my wrestling, and then these guys actually convinced me like to do an MMA fight one day, and I felt good, I felt confident, so I fought a guy named Micah Ige. He had the same last name as me.
Yeah, I
weren't
saw that on your
yeah
record. Yeah.
weren't related at all, but it was just like there was no way I could lose to a guy with the same last name as me,
No,
and
no, you
I
had to be the top of the e-gaze.
yeah, beat him up, pretty good, and I knew. So yeah, went through that fight, and I got the first round finish, and it was just a feeling like I've never encountered with winning any wrestling match, any jiu-jitsu match. Like I've never got that feeling, and it was from that very moment. Like it was, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew what I wanted to pursue. Uh, so I kept going. I had about 11 amateur fights in Hawaii, and they were all tough fights. Like all my amateur fights were tough fights because everyone can scrap. Everyone in Hawaii can scrap. Like if you just, I
Mm.
say it all the time, but you just go to YouTube and type in Hawaii scraps. Like everyone, even guys on the street know how to fight. Like they're throwing combinations with leg kicks and like it's crazy. So I was fighting guys and I had no stand up whatsoever. I literally just had wrestling. And so I was kind of the opposite. Everyone had stand up and I just had wrestling, but I held my own in there, and I had a good amateur career, and I turned pro. And once I turned pro, I had maybe one or two fights in Hawaii, and then I realized like if I wanted to go to the next level, I needed to move and just kind of go after my dream and leave home. And I
Mm.
moved to Las Vegas, where I live now, for 5 years, and kind of made everything happen from here. But it was it was a big step for me. I left Hawaii. I had no money. I had $27 and came to Vegas. I actually had gotten married 3 days before I married my wife, and I left her. I left her in Hawaii, and I told her I had a dream to go after, and I told her once I get a house and get a job and get everything, like then she can come up. So I made it happen, man, with nothing. I came here with nothing, and but a vision.
$27. It's not a lot going to Vegas with, is it?
No, yeah. I could have risked it and put it in a slot machine or something, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, what made you just while we're on the topic of extreme couture and Las Vegas and all that, what made you want to go to Las Vegas? What lured you to want to go to that gym?
So I had some connections out here already. Like I had come out before I came out here like for like 3 weeks and did little mini training camps in Vegas. You know, my buddy Brad Tavares, UFC veteran, he's in the UFC. He's actually fighting too. He's fighting July 10th. He's a top 10 middleweight in the UFC, and he's always been a guy. He's been up here for a long time, but he's been a guy that's always kind of encouraged me to make the move and to become a full-time fighter. And you know, I would be like, yeah, I'll do it, bro. Like, don't worry. Like one day I'll do it. And finally, I just pulled the trigger one day. But it was the very moment I pulled the trigger, everything in my life started happening. Like it was getting outside of my comfort zone. Cause man, I love Hawaii. I lived 10 steps away from the beach. Like I literally leave my house, walk across the street, and then there's the path. There's the beach entrance, the path to the beach. So like, I had everything I ever need. Like I could work construction, make a living for myself, and you know, enjoy home and be comfortable. But I knew like kind of leaving that behind things would happen, and they did, bro. And everything that I have now is because of that, the sacrifice I made then. So.
That's absolutely amazing. And those sacrifices are clearly paying off with your performances over the last couple of years, my bro. It's really great to see your rise. Do you know what? I didn't know that you had a wrestling background and jiu-jitsu background, because you wouldn't think it by your last couple of fights. You're knocking lads out, you're meeting in the middle and you're banging. Like, would you consider yourself just an all-arounder now? Or would you you're obviously a very well put together all-around athlete. But what would you favor in regards to going into a fight? Do you like that kind of grind, that meet in the middle and just exchange?
Yeah, I love it, man. I love to go out there and just bang and throw down. Like I have heavy hands, but like I don't go out there and like fight stupid. Like everything I do is with a purpose. You know, even though I might fight crazy and come forward and like, yeah, I'm knocking guys out, but like it's all with a purpose, like footwork and creating angles. Like I'm literally just learning this stuff, so it's so fun for me. That's why I'm showing it. And like I'm not trying to be one of those guys like that was a wrestler that fell in love with striking that doesn't go back to his wrestling. Like I have all those tools. A fight starts standing, so you know you have to be able to mix it up. But I know I have power in both hands, so it's and if I hit anyone clean, it really doesn't matter. Like we're all human. Like, you know, they'll go out.
Yes, 100%.
So, yeah.
And speaking of meeting opponents, you are meeting Korean Zombie in a. I'm not going to lie. This is a big fan favorite for me because I love watching your fights, bro. But I also have been a big fan of Korean Zombie as well, and I think this is just going to be a great fight. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm vouching for my bro, yourself, but you know, I am excited. I got the butterflies for this one. It's going to be very good, you know. And this is one that you've been calling for a long time. From what I've seen from your social media activity, that you've wanted a fight like this with Korean Zombie for quite some time now. You've wanted this. Why do you feel like that? This is a fight that is going to be just good. Like, why have you been calling for this fight, asking for it?
Honestly, the styles, and because it is a fan favorite fight. Like I know, you know, this is a business too. Like I want to go out there. I always want to put on exciting fights. You know, you fight some certain guys, like they might just run and not make it exciting or just try to point fight you. Like I know the Zombie's gonna be there and he's gonna he wants to be entertaining too. So this is as much as it is a fight, it's an entertainment business too. So it just has like there's nothing disrespectful about me calling him out. Like I've enjoyed watching his fights. I've been a fan from day one as well. Like I love watching the zombie fight, and I root for that guy all the time because he is the guy I want to face. And here we are now, and I finally got what I asked for. So it's it's been nice. In the past, I know I've asked for the fight, but realistically, it probably wouldn't have happened because I didn't do enough to earn it, and now I've done enough to earn it. I went on a six. I'm 7-2 in the UFC. I went on a 6-fight win streak there. You know, fell short, but I came back, put on a spectacular performance, and I literally I'm just entering my prime, and I feel great, and it's gonna be a great scrap. Um, I see it favoring me for, obviously, because that's the fight I'm asking for. I see that it favors me. And I think it's the fight that's going to propel me to that next level, the top five, to the contenders, becoming a contender and eventually becoming a champion.
Yes, for sure, and it's just at your doorstep as well. I do feel like that this is a fight that is for sure in your favor. But just out of curiosity, what do you feel like is your advantages going into this fight? What do you feel like that it plays a key role in coming out with the victory?
I think my ability, first of all, it's my time. It's my time 100%. I believe in timing. I believe timing's everything in this sport, and it is my time. But aside from that, if you want to talk about techniques and tactics, I just feel like I have more tools and I'm able to mix it up. And I feel I could win anywhere the fight goes. If we stay standing, like I know how to be the aggressor. I also know how to be the counter puncher. I know how to move forward. I can move backwards. I could fight side to side. I could take you down. I could fight in the clinch. I could wrestle. I could fight off my back. So I'm well versed everywhere, but I really don't I don't go in with the game plan. I go in with the game plan to win, and I just use my own intuition and my my feel at the time. So I don't really go in there be like I'm gonna try to do this, and then if it doesn't work, I'm gonna try to do this. Like I don't like to have that that mindset. I just go in there with a workman's mentality, and go in there and just work for 25 minutes to get a victory. And then if I knock them out before that, great. But if not, I know I'm prepared. I can go 25 minutes.
I really like that. I really like that mindset of going in on basing how you feel. I think that I don't know if you can relate to this then, that it must play into a very adaptable style so that you
Yeah,
can feel like you can adapt to any scenario within a fight as opposed to overcomplicating things with, difference. And if he does this, I do that. But if you prepare in a fight camp, and you're emotionally intelligent, like you're kind of pointing out there, you're going to be able to adapt very quickly in the middle of a fight, whatever may come your way.
you have to be able to adapt. And you know, it's funny. I got that advice. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Kelly Slater, one of the best surfers in the world, but professional surfer. But he actually gave me that advice one time heading into a fight, and even though he's not a fighter, he has to deal with adapting in the lineup with Mother Nature. Like you don't know where waves are coming from, and you have to be in the right place at the right time. But it all comes from the ability to adapt. And I believe that's my greatest strength as a fighter. Like everything else to the side, skills, techniques, tactics, cardio, everything to the side. It's my ability to adapt that I believe sets me apart from the rest. Because I mean, in train, like I'll get beat up in training. Like I'll spar and I'll lose rounds. I'm not Khabib. Like I'm not winning every sparring in every fight. I just, but when it's fight night, everything's on, and I have the ability to adapt. Like I can beat anybody.
That's great. Yeah, I really do. I'm really so looking forward to this fight, bro. I'm so hyped about it. It's going to be amazing. Who do you feel like that? After everything goes well, you come out with the victory in this fight. Who do you feel like would be, the next fight you'd like, fan for yourself? If you've thought that far ahead, or you're just kind of thinking, June 12th, just get through that first.
I have, I know people like don't look past the fight, but I do because I envision envision the title, so I have to look past it. And
Mm.
it's not being disrespectful or not that I'm not focused, because I'm 100% focused, but I do look past it because everything after this fight is gonna, like, obviously have to win, but everything right there is the sport is all timing. And you have Max Holloway fighting Yair Rodriguez, and you got Brian Ortega fighting the champion Alexander Volkanovski. It puts me right there. And
Yeah.
honestly, I just see it putting myself one fight away from a title shot. And you never know. It could maybe even grant me a title shot depending on performance and how it goes down. Because if you look at Zombie's last fight, he fought Brian Ortega, who beat him by decision, but he's fighting for the title now. If I can, the way I see it, if I can one up his performance, it might, put me in the same position. But I'm not expecting to go out there and beat him and get a title shot right away. If it happens, great. I'll be 100% ready. But if not, I'm still ready to, beat anyone else that I have to beat to get there.
100%. And just kind of bringing it back a little bit to Extreme Couture, there's a lot of busy activity going on in Extreme Couture.
Yeah.
It seems like that there's a lot of great guys in that gym now, and it's really starting to hit its peak as a gym. Like with Francis Ngannou, yourself. There's multiple guys in the UFC and Bellator that are coming out of there. How do you feel about the atmosphere and the overall vibe of the gym at the moment?
Yeah, it's been amazing, man. The atmosphere, the aura, just walking in there, it just has a different feel than it did 2 years ago. And I don't know what it's been. Maybe just the pandemic era kind of made everyone want it more and work a little harder. And right now, it's just the place is booming, man. The gym is full every day. It's full of talent, and we're all in there to be better. We leave our egos at the door, and we just check in, and we check in to be better. So it's a good time right now, man. It's a good place to be. It's a good gym. We have a great coaching staff, and Eric Nixick has taken on a great role, a great leader role. And I feel like that's something maybe that was missing, was that leader role. And he's really put himself there, and he's taken that ownership to, like, push guys to the next level. And he knows when to take fault as a coach, and everyone respects him for that. And I don't know. I think that's kind of what it is. It's just kind of having Eric there, and then hello.
Yeah. Hey, my bro.
Again. My bad.
It's all good. It's
But
okay,
yeah,
my bro.
but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I've heard some great things about Eric as a coach, and he's obviously, you can see he's putting the work in with the team there, because there's a great vibe going at the moment. And it must be great to actually train in Vegas as well, because the majority of the shows when the pandemic isn't on is in Vegas, so it
Yeah.
must feel like you're fighting in your hometown all the time.
Yeah, it is. And my last fight, for once, I got to actually fight in Vegas. I never did fight in Vegas before that, so it was nice to, like, literally drive down 2 freeway exits from my house and then fight and then go home after.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's kind of cool. I do have that hometown advantage. I mean, a fight's a fight. I'll fight anywhere. I don't really care. But it's nice when you don't have to travel, or you don't have to go far from your house, and you could fight and then come back home and be with your family. And yeah, it's kind of nice.
Something that I definitely would love to ask is about the fight you had with Edson Barboza. I thought was an outstanding performance. So that was a great performance. That was a great fight overall as well.
Thank you.
How do you feel? What's your feeling on that fight, and what does it feel like to take those some of those kicks? Because Barboza's kicks are sick, and you're just running through them. It was a great fight. It was a great fight.
Yeah, it was a great fight, and that was. So when that opportunity came about, it was honestly, like, right when everything shut down, gyms were closed. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, and then the UFC came out and said, "Hey, we're gonna probably start putting on some fights. If anyone wants to fight, great, let us know. Don't feel pressured. You don't have to fight in this situation. And I kind of saw it as a good opportunity. Like, yeah, maybe I'll fight. I don't know where I'm going to train, but I'll do it. And I put my name in the hat. And luckily, Francis Ngannou was training at the time. So Eric opened the gym for him and a few guys, and they're going in and working out. And they came back to me and they said Edson Barboza in 2.5 weeks. And I've never like taken a short notice fight in the UFC, and especially against a guy like Edson Barboza. So
Yeah, I didn't know
my
there was only
first,
2.5 weeks notice. That's
yeah,
crazy.
no, it was very short notice, and so obviously, like for me, that's the scariest draw you could probably get because, because of his leg kicks and his body kicks and everything, like there was a lot to worry about, but I didn't have the time to worry about it. So it was kind of good in that sense. But I got myself off the couch, went to the gym, trained maybe 10 days, and went in there and I did what I could, and I won. I won a close decision. I got a lot of heat for it because I won a split decision, and I know some people had it the other way and this and that, but at the end of the day, like I got the victory, and I put on a great performance on a short notice against one of the best in the world, and
Yes.
a lot of people don't see that side. They only see the judge's decision, and for me, like it was a great victory, and I'm proud of it. I'm super proud of it to fight a guy like Edson Barboza and come out victorious. And but yeah, man, it was crazy to prepare for, and I feel like with a guy like Edson, like you can't give him that space. So I didn't give him that respect to give him that space so he could smash my legs because I was so fearful of him. So I was in and out, and anytime he did kick, like I would catch him off balance where I'm pushing him backwards. And, I had my success. He had his success, and it went my way. But, hey, we take the victory, and we also take the lesson, and we learn, and we get better. And but it only set me up for greater and better things.
And how do you feel with taking like a 2 week notice fight? Like, was there kind of like was there a sense of like, do you know when you sometimes when you do like a fight camp and it's like you put everything into it and then it kind of almost means more? And I know that it's a massive fight because it was Edson Barboza and it was a big fight for you. But did it almost feel like because it was 2.5 weeks notice that you had less to lose? You could just go in there and let go a little bit more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I did because of the situation, because we were in a pandemic, because I did have nothing to lose. Like, I felt free, my only worry was making weight because I was like 170, like probably 3 weeks before the actual bout. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I did it. And yeah, man, it felt good. And I wouldn't suggest taking short notice fights, but there's a time and place for them. And as a martial artist, I mean, we should always be training, always in shape, but having a little notice is nice to like actually peak and prepare. But at the end of the day, it's still a fight. You have to fight. I've had fights where I've had a full training camp and I went to the fight and I felt like crap because who knows, over peaking, overtraining. There's a lot of preparation that goes into camp to like peaking perfectly as well. So sometimes a short notice fight could be a blessing in disguise. And, you got to just kind of go with your intuition there, I'd say, for any other fighters listening, if they have that kind of opportunity.
Well, it's certainly playing into your hands that time anyway. That's for sure. Yeah. And we were doing a little bit of talking before we jumped on here about you have a lot of great setups in your house there. You have a sauna, a plunge pool, you have a bed there as well. What's this bed that you have that has all the almost tracking systems and all that in it? Tell us a bit more about that. That's very interesting.
Yeah, no. So it's called the eight sleep mattress. It's called the 8 Pod, and yeah, they have actually 2 versions. They have a full mattress that has the technology and everything, or if you have a mattress you already love, they have like a cover you could put on it with the technology with the app. But basically, it cools your, you can set it to your preferred temperature preference, and it'll cool, it'll warm up, it'll vibrate when you want to wake up in the morning. So you can set like your alarm to wake up with heat and vibration rather than like a crazy alarm. It tracks your HRV, your resting heart rate. It tracks your deep sleep, REM sleep. It's awesome, man. It's been game changing, especially becoming a dad. Like those, sleep is crucial at this point. And if I get any sleep at all, at least I'm getting the best sleep. So
Yes.
that's an ad right there.
Yeah, for sure, my bro. And congratulations again on entering daddy daycare. How does it feel to be a dad?
Thanks, bro. It's been a blessing. It's crazy because my son was literally born into fight camp. So he was born. ESPN is at my house filming. He's on camera already. Like he's a star. But it's been great. It's been great. Just like training and coming home and holding my son and watching him like grow right in front of my eyes and become like start recognizing like seeing things. It's so awesome, bro. And it's honestly like the greatest title I could ever hold.
And it must give you a lot more fuel to your fire now when you're going in to compete, going forward into your competitions.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I've always been a pretty motivated guy, pretty vision-driven guy, and but having a son just kind of gives me no excuse on those days, like when I kind of really don't feel like it. Like now, I'm working for someone else. I'm working to put food on my son's table. I'm working to put, fund his education and this and that and his health, and so it's just the motivation is just that much greater.
Yeah, that's amazing. That really is amazing. And congratulations again, dude. And look, just going to finish off here now. And I just wanted to say that best of skill, man, in a couple of weeks' time. I'll be watching.
Thank you, brother.
I'm really going to be vouching for you, my dude. So best of skill.
Yes, sir.
Jump in that sauna, get some recovery, and I'll touch base with you soon. Okay?
Sauna right here. Gonna get a little.
That is sick. That's some setup. Oh, your brother's in there already.
Yeah, he just got out of the ice.
Yeah. He's ahead of you there. Getting warm for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
Okay, Dan. Have a great day, my man.
Yeah, you're the man, Myles. You have a good night. Good, and it was good talking to you. You got to come out and train sometime. Whatever things free up. I know it's a little hard to travel right now, but when things free up, you're always welcome in.
Oh thank you so much, my dude. I'll take you up on that offer for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. All right, brother.